Mark Llewhellin, and I'm from Haverfordwest in Wales in the United Kingdom. USA Run of Hope is a run that I designed. It's in the shape of the American flag, so it goes. It started in Miami, and then it's done in certain stages. It's 2 weeks at a time with the stages. I fly back to the UK. I've got a 4-year-old son, so I have to sort of mix my time with seeing my son and doing this great event. And but what I really wanted for it was to design it so that it's something that the American people can get involved in. So I'm over here, I'm learning what people want, and many of you guys have said that you want this to become a cycling event and a walking event. So now I've put some cycling into it, some walking into it, so anybody can join. You can join me on one of my legs, and you can run, cycle or walk for free. There's no charge for the event. Also, you can do it for a charity of your own choice, so it's basically giving you the freedom to do what you want, and you can positively impact your own life and other people's lives. Yeah, when I left school I didn't think I was going to be successful at anything. I didn't do great at school, and so I just followed my friends, and some of them joined the army, and I thought I'll just join the army as well, and it was just like that. And then I had to get fit to get into the army, and I can remember starting off trying to run up a road called the Broadhaven Road, and I just found running a mile was absolutely horrendous, and I knew I had to get through this 1.5 mile run to pass the army basic fitness test. So I trained about 3 times a week, and doing the running. I went into Junior Leaders Regiment Royal Artillery, and they put me on the 1.5 mile basic fitness test, and the test was to run a 1.5 mile in 10.5 minutes, and I failed. I came in at 10 minutes 53 seconds, and I just then the sergeant came in a few weeks later, and he asked a question: who was the most boring person in the room, and several other questions, and everyone was looking at these certain individuals and they were laughing. And then he come to the last question, and he said, who's the fattest person in the room? And I'll never forget it, because I looked over at this guy from Liverpool, and I thought, it's definitely Scouts, and every single person just turned their head and looked at me, and they all just burst out laughing. And I said, it's not me, it's Scouts. And God, that was such a sort of a wake-up call, and I was shocked. And so then I started training, and after about 10 weeks I lost 2.5 stone. I got my 1.5 mile down to 9.5 minutes, and then months into it, the sergeant said, what regiment in the artillery do you want to go to? And my cousin was a Green Beret, Royal Marine Commando, but there's a regiment in the artillery, 2-9 Commando, who had broke a world record for running with a marathon with a 40-pound pack. And I said to the Sergeant Major, I want to go into that regiment. And I'll never forget it, because I was standing up, and he looked up at me as if to say, you're on a different planet, mate. It's just, there's no way on this earth you will pass that course. So out of about 240 people from the intake, there's only about 3 that sort of get through the commando course, and out of this intake. So I went for it. By the end of the year, I got my 1.5 mile down to 8:23. I was the fastest in the troop. I was about the 6th fastest, 6th or 7th fastest out of about 120 people. So I thought I was fit. But then I went down to Plymouth to train with 2-9 Commando, and it was like going from the top of one league, and all of a sudden I was at the bottom of this other league. I failed the first time, for lack of fitness. The second time I failed because I had injury. And then the third time, I succeeded and I passed. But I'll never forget a guy by the name of Sandy. He said, if he doesn't pass this first time, then he said, I don't believe you've got a right to wear that beret. And I looked at him and I said, I don't care how many times I'm going to go for this. I am going to pass this course. And I got through, and sadly Sandy never did. But I think that's what life's about as well. It's like you sort of, if you go for something and it doesn't work, it doesn't matter. You know, you haven't lost nothing. You know, just go for it again and again and again and again and again. And it's just being persistent, and it's having that determination. And that's what ultimately sort of brings you to this success.